Hey guys, Todd with Vapor Honing Technologies. Today we're actually going to look at our dry blasting side of vapor honing. What I'm standing in front of right now is our VH800 Pro series. This machine is actually a siphon system. So those of you familiar with dry blast and the way that works, a siphon system is basically pulling the abrasive up through the hose and using that to blast your product. This machine actually has two LED lights in it, just like our standard 800. You do have an air nozzle inside in all of these machines to actually blow the part off once you're through blasting. And it still runs our standard blast gun like we use in our wet blasting machines. This is definitely a smaller cabinet, still could be used in industrial or could be used on the hobbyist level. Here, we actually have our VH1000. All of these machines are still called vapor honing. It's the 1000. Just like that's the VH800. These machines are identical from one side to the other, to whether it's wet blasting or dry blasting. So a VH1000 in wet blasting is the same as a dry blast cabinet, exact same size. This particular machine actually has our reclaimer and dust collector hooked up to it. It is a siphon machine. All of these machines can either be siphon or can be built as a pressure pot. With the pressure pot, gives you a little bit more pressure. It's a little bit stronger when blasting. The siphon system works fantastic, but it's not quite as aggressive. Most of these machines, again, this is the 1000 with the two LED lights, same blast gun. Everything's exactly the same in this machine. This one actually has glass bead in it right now. And what we found out is they actually work just about equal to what our wet blast does, running a little bit lower pressure on this than you do on the wet blast to get the same effect. From here we have our 2000. The 2000 is actually running a pressure pot. The pressure pot's actually mounted here. This is actually providing extreme amount of pressure going into the machine. These machines are more set up for fast work, stripping, removing of coatings, removing heavy rust, things of that nature. You can do all of that in a suction machine. It's just going to take you a little bit longer, but with dry blast and running it as a pressure pot, you're going to get a fantastic result and really quickly. I will show you that the window on this is the new style window. So our windows will actually be this way. You've got two places here to unscrew. If you take the top loose and take it completely off, and loosen this one, you can just lift the window out, place a new window in, reattach your brackets, and you're good to go. This particular machine is running an aluminum oxide. So as far as stripping and removing paints and things of that nature, fantastic machine, does great work. Our next one here is the VH900. So the 900 is a little bit different in the fact that it's a front swing door. So loading parts straight into the machine, you don't have that side swing door out. This is definitely a space saver for any of you that are looking for a machine dry blast that is not going to take up quite as much room. The 900 is a perfect option for that. Again, they're running an aluminum oxide in this particular one. It is a siphon, but it does have the dust collector and the reclaimer both with this one. If you're going to be doing dry blast, I definitely recommend going with the reclaimer. It's actually going to keep your media longer as opposed to using it being done. And then your actual media is actually in the back container over here. So that's all flowing into the machine instead of actually being directly in the machine. This is actually our version of a shot peening machine. So it's the same as our 1000 before. This one's actually running still shot. So with still shot, this machine's going to eat pretty much anything you put in there. If you want to do micro peening, this is the machine to go with. It definitely has to be a pressure pot if you're doing still shot. Suction doesn't work on still shot. It just won't pull it up through there enough to actually make it work. And when you're talking about cleaning powder coat or something of that nature off, this thing will eat it in a heartbeat. Beside of me here is our VH3500, which is, again, exactly like our wet blast machine. This one does have a front swing door. You've got 4 gloves here in the front, so you can work on large parts from here, move down, finish the part off. Again, same type of window with our front swing door. Your clearance is simply right here in front, but the inside of this machine, as you can see, is huge. We can put entire motorcycle frames inside of here with absolutely no problem. This one is running a little bit different blast gun, but this machine actually has soda in it, so it's a different type of blast gun on that for the soda. And again, this machine is actually a pressure pot, and it has a reclaimer on it also. And then we move into our VH4000. So the 4000 has doors on both sides of the machine. This is for very large parts. This has a very, very aggressive combination of media inside of it, and you want to talk about removing powder coating. It happens very, very quickly with this machine. There is nothing slow about this machine. Again, it is the pressure pot. You do still have foot control like you do on all of our machines. About the biggest difference is you're not going to have a wiper on a dry blast machine like you do on the wet blast machine. And that's really the only big difference between our wet and dry blast cabinets. I will also mention the fact that each one of these machines that we've just looked at, we can do in what they call a hydro blast. It's a high pressure parts washer. They will run on 220. They have heated water. It uses a water soluble detergent inside the machine, and it cleans with high pressure. So any of our cabinets can either be dry blast, wet blast, or hydro blast. We actually have a hydro blast right here in the 3500. So this machine is exactly the same machine as that 3500 over there, which is our dry blast cabinet. This is just in a hydro blast. So depending on whether you're just degreasing parts or you're wanting to strip coatings, whether you're just wanting to clean up parts and dry blast works better for you than wet blast, we have all of those options here. We'll be more than happy to go through with all of this with you. The sales team in there is very experienced with all of these products. We've used all of them. We know how they work, and we'll be more than happy to have a conversation with you. If you have any questions or comments, give us a call, 828-202-5563. Thanks for watching.